Hey guys, what's up? Today I would like to discuss some of the interesting setups on the charts on Chainlink and even BNB. So this video may be interesting for those people who are looking into these assets and believe in them. So let's look at Chainlink first. On the daily chart, as you can see, we can see a perfect, very good and precise trading range here, where we could see great long entries and short entries here, and definitely we were shorting here precisely when we got rejected from this range resistance. Definitely then I built on the lower time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, a great trend line as support and resistance here, and it worked perfectly many times here as support, here as resistance, and ultimately look at where we got here at the intersection of our global contour trend line, this one pink and this purple. We got a significant rejection here. Definitely I even was looking to take a short here, but I didn't want to risk it and hold it. So when I am asleep, I don't trade usually. At least I don't open the positions. So definitely I missed this move. Was very readable and very clear here. But no matter what we got here, let's look at it. It kind of looks like a great accumulation range, and it seems like definitely after this, some people can think that after this accumulation range we can go to the upside, especially we are heading closer to this contour trend line, and as moment as we break it we can pop to the upside. But you should not remember that we are in the bear market, and the conditions, the fundamentals are rough actually at the moment, and will continue to be rough and tough for some time. I believe in that. That is not the end. I don't think that the story and this turbulence is going to end on the FTX and other. We can see even Gemini exchange has problems at the moment, so it is only getting started in my opinion. But let's look at this. Even without all those fundamentals, I don't think we are going to break this $9.70 resistance and won't be heading to the upside from here. Why? First of all, let's look at the weekly chart. As you can see, we have got a lot of signs that we have to go lower here, but that doesn't mean that we are going to do that instantly. Look at this. We had this candle that was telling us that we are not going higher than this resistance, and we didn't. This one removed, and now we got a very great interesting engulfing candle here that is telling me that we are going lower, at least at the size of this candle, at least. So let's take it and look at the lower. So try to put it here and you will see where is going to be our destination point at least. So it doesn't mean that we are going there lower in the lower range immediately. It is going to depend on Bitcoin and whether this weekly is going to close like this. Let's enable our 730 EMAs. Definitely we are not popping this week above the 692 and maybe 711. So definitely that is why we are holding here like this. And there are two outcomes here. We either because we drew this engulfing candle during the previous week, and this week we are having it. We started very early, and definitely until the end of the week we can see one of the three scenarios, I think. we either break, the market goes nuts and we go below immediately, and we finally pop this global trend line that you can see here, that is that originates from the 2019 here, a good one. So we either pop there immediately within this week if we break this support until the end of the week. If we remain here and close like this, then the next week is going to be to the upside. Locally, we may retest like here and get towards this counter trend line, and then at that point we either get rejected significantly and start sliding lower and starting the new week under this range resistance and continue to go lower until we finally break this counter trend line and start trading like this and holding this global trend line. We always hold those trend lines, so entering upon those trend line supports is a good thing. It is a safe thing, in my opinion, because we always pump from them and go to the upside. And after you enter there, you can simply place a stop loss below, and if it loses at some point this trend line, you will sell it and will buy even lower, around 135, 138, somewhere here, where is our Genesis range here. 150, 138 is our Genesis range resistance. So definitely it's either going to be like this, or we are going to break this resistance right here, and we are not going to pump heavily because this candle is telling me that we are still have some room to go lower. That is why we can start pumping, drawing something like this, or start sliding upon this support, and then maybe even doing some expansions. But we finally will reach this global trend line. This green global trend line will be reached, in my opinion, anyway. So it is a good place to buy. 280, 290 up to 320 is a good long-term buy, in my opinion. So definitely after we touch, no matter where we are going to touch this global trend line, we are going to pop from there, and you can safely put your stop loss below it or upon your entry after that. So if after touching this global trend line we are not going to the upside back, and you will be safe placing stop loss either upon your entry or here or a little lower. The chances to break this global trend line exist, but I think only after we retest this range resistance and feel it, and this is where you can probably even sell and look how we are going to retest this. If we successfully retest this global trend line, then you can re-enter here, but if we lose it, then the next target is here. And in terms of long-term investment, it is going to be a very safe and clear spot to enter, and considering that the Chainlink, I consider it to be the Google of the crypto, because it is involved in every crypto project. Moreover, now it has a lot of partnerships with the traditional world companies that are going to rely on the Chainlink's oracles and their data they are going to provide the data to them. So definitely having Chainlink in your portfolio is a good thing, but definitely this candle is telling me that we are going lower. This global trend line is going to be my indicator where to enter. So definitely I think it is too early to buy Chainlink at the moment yet. So let's look at the BNB. A lot of people got very excited about how BNB is stable at the moment, but I don't think it is so clear right now. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw that I suggest when the market was pumping, had a little bounce recently before this significant dump and before the FTX shit show. Definitely I drew this counter trend line here, the trend line, but it was the counter trend here, and I suggested that it is going to be our line that is going to stop the price here. And even after all those unfortunate events happened on the market, Binance Coin could, even though a lot of people started to deposit and believe in BNB and praising the CZ, still BNB couldn't pump enough to change this situation, and we have an engulfing candle here, and I know what it means for me. This arrow, this scenario is not accidental. I drew it and posted on my Twitter timeline a few days ago, and it seems to me like a scenario. It is either if this week we are holding this support here, then we will probably have a little upside movement as I drew here within the next week, but then I think we are going to at least to 207, 220 in the weeks to come, maybe next month. So definitely we should keep that in mind. That is I think 100% guaranteed, because this candle is very insightful to me, this weekly candle. Also I see we need to follow how the monthly is going to close. If we close the monthly something like this, or if we don't have this lower week below, it is going to be even more aggressive. And actually we have an uncovered week here, so definitely 183, 182 is totally on the table. But for me, I'm not buying this asset. It is a past asset for me personally. I'm not telling you that you should do the same, because I was the one who was buying and urging people to buy it, BNB, when it was, I don't know, in 2018. I was suggesting people, and was interesting myself in buying BNB around $15, $9, and even eventually at that dump in 2018 at 550. Also in 2019 I was suggesting people to buy and hold, or even trade and increase the amount of their BNB when it was around $25, and I was suggesting that BNB is going to be reach $100 in the next few years. But as you can see, BNB even exceeded my expectations and did great. So now it is not interesting to me, this asset. It played out for me. So even if it goes to $1,000 in the years to come, it is not for me. I am looking for something that is underrated and not noticed at the moment, something new. So definitely, but here, if you're into BNB, definitely do not buy right now, in my opinion. You should wait when we reach this support global trend line. Of course, after we touch it, we can reverse here, and at least locally, maybe even this is going to be our bottom. Who knows? But you should understand that I don't like this chart actually, because from the market dynamics and from what I see on this chart, we have this untraded area, and this is a huge area actually. This one, who is going to cover that? This is an inefficiency that I'm talking about for many months already. So it has to be covered sooner or later. I don't know, maybe it won't, but I talked about this BTC inefficiency before all this time. This one and this one, where the actual take off of Bitcoin since the previous cycle began. And I told you that and suggested, I didn't tell that we are going to come here 100%, but I told you that it would be logical from the technical point of view that we cover this untraded areas. And as you can see, even Bitcoin came to these levels. Why BNB can do that? And they can even force this. So this asset now represents more danger or risk to me than the reward right now at these prices. Because we have this uncovered area, and we also have this global trend line here. So definitely at some point we can even reach maybe this, don't know if it's going to happen, but I am sure that we are covering this support. That is for sure for me. But also do not believe in any centralized exchange, because they are no different. A lot of people praise CZ right now as if he was some kind of hero, but actually he is not. They're all dirty. All of them are dirty in the same way. They're like politicians. They do their dirty job daily together, but then if somebody steps down or makes a mistake, they simply out of business and monopoly games, they just throw them off the cliff and take their money and power to themselves. So a lot of and as you can see, if you look at the feed right now, the CT tweets, we can see that Gemini is also has problems at the moment, and Binance, nobody checked actually Binance what is going on, and I know a lot about their shady games behind the curtains. So definitely we have to follow also that a lot of Americans are not satisfied that Binance threw the FTX under the train. So actually they are even on economic forums, they suggest to consider the investigation on Binance. So definitely we can expect some kind of retaliation or pressure on the fundamental level from the Western authorities and media circles. So be careful with this asset too. Good luck to you guys.